Good evening, everyone. Today we're opening the heavy oak doors to a room we often leave in the dark, the bedroom. Specifically, we're talking about that dreaded monster known as the routine. Think of your life like a classic European bistro. We love our traditions, a croissant in Paris, a pasta in Rome, a pint in London. But if you were served the exact same plate of bland meat and potatoes every single night for 20 years, you wouldn't call it tradition, you'd call it a prison sentence. Yet in our intimate lives, so many of us settle for the missionary default. It's the vanilla ice cream of intimacy. It's safe, it's reliable, and frankly, it's getting a bit dusty. Even the portrait of your great-aunt on the hallway wall seems to be judging the predictability of it all. So tonight, we're asking the question, is the standard position all there is? Absolutely not. It's time to introduce a little continental flair with a position that flips the script, the cowgirl, or as we prefer to call it, the woman on top. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. There is an old-fashioned, almost Victorian idea that the man must be the engine. He thinks he has to be the one doing all the work, huffing like he's trying to catch a departing train at Waterloo Station. Gentlemen, let's be honest. You aren't auditioning for an Olympic decathlon. Why are you doing all the heavy lifting? Intimacy is supposed to be a symphony, not a solo drum kit performance. In the woman on top position, the man is finally granted a sabbatical. He gets to relax, observe, and appreciate the view. Meanwhile, the lady moves from the passenger seat to the captain's chair. Ladies, think of it as taking the Ferrari out for a spin on the Autobahn. Usually, your partner is driving, hitting the brakes too hard, missing the exits, and refusing to look at the map. But now, you have the keys. You control the speed. You choose the scenery. It's the ultimate form of executive control right in the comfort of your own home. Let's get a bit technical for a moment, shall we? From a psychological and physiological standpoint, this position is a masterclass in efficiency. Ladies, we've all been there. Your partner is trying his best, but he's essentially navigating a dark room without a flashlight. You want to say, slightly to the left, or more rhythm, less speed, but you don't want to bruise his delicate ego, so you just lie there, mentally updating your grocery list or wondering if you left the oven on. But when you are on top, you hold the remote control. You don't need to issue instructions, you just execute them. You find the exact angle for G-spot stimulation that usually gets ignored in the standard setup. You control the depth and the pace based on what your body actually wants, not what he thinks you want. It's like moving from a generic radio station to your own curated Spotify playlist. And for the men, this is the greatest tax break you'll ever receive. When you're not physically exhausted from the bedroom Olympics, your heart rate stays steady. You're not stressed, which means you last longer. You get to enjoy the grand tour instead of just a sprint to the finish line. A word of practical advice, however. If you decide to try this tonight, please remember you are a human being, not a member of the Monte Carlo circus. I've heard the tales, people attempting high-speed maneuvers they saw in a sleek European art house film and ending up at the physiotherapist on Monday morning. Doctor, I was trying to be adventurous and now my hip is making a clicking sound like a broken typewriter. The golden rules for the pilot. The infrastructure. Invest in pillows. This is Europe. We have fine linens and soft cushions for a reason. Use them to support your knees. The full HD gaze. Men, listen closely. In this position, your partner is looking directly at you. This is not the time to look like you're concentrating on your tax returns. Smile. Give her a compliment. Tell her she looks like a goddess, even if she's wearing an old t-shirt. The psychological boost she gets from seeing your genuine appreciation is worth more than a bottle of vintage Bordeaux. And the laughter? If someone slips, if there's a strange sound from the mattress, or if you both lose your balance and end up in a heap, laugh. There is nothing more European than a sense of irony. If you can't find the humor in the clumsiness of human connection, you're doing it wrong. And if you're feeling particularly daring, there is always the reverse cowgirl. This is where the lady faces the other way. It's the plot twist of the evening. It changes the visual landscape entirely. Men, you get a different perspective, one that is highly celebrated in classical art. Women, you get a different kind of freedom to move. It's like changing the camera angle in a high-budget film. Suddenly, the old story feels brand new. My dear friends, the lesson here is simple. Don't let your marriage become a dull bureaucracy. Don't let your intimacy become a series of forms to be filled out. Communication is the secret sauce. You don't have to make it a formal meeting, just a playful suggestion over a glass of wine. Darling, why don't you take the lead tonight? Intimacy isn't a chore or a performance, it's a conversation between two people who trust each other. The woman on top is just a more eloquent way of saying I love you and I trust you at the same time. So tonight, cancel the standard procedure. Let the lady take the throne, and gentlemen, enjoy the luxury of being the power behind the throne. If you enjoyed this little talk, share it with a friend who looks like they need a bit of a spark in their weekend. Keep it elegant, keep it playful, and above all, keep it fun. Until next time, cheers!